Hey guys, it's Darren here, and today I'm going to show you how I export images directly out of Lightroom. So if I've not needed to go into Photoshop to do any edits, then I will want to export them straight from here, and I want them in several various forms depending on what the usage is. So I'm going to set up some presets for print ready TIFFs, print ready JPEGs, and then resized for web. So the first thing that I'm going to do is just have a look at the pictures, make sure they're all fine. So I'm going to look at them in full screen. If you press tab, you will hide the side columns there. So hold tab and then press F to go into full screen, and we can just cycle through each one of those and check that we're happy. So now you can see that all three of these are completely different sizes. So on export, we want to make sure that when we're doing it for web, our longest edge, which is this bit here, is always the same size. If you end up doing it by the short edge down here, then you're going to end up with a much bigger picture than if you do it by the long edge. So the biggest number always should be the long edge. So if we go over to the left here and click on export, I am going to not specify a specific folder. I'm going to do same folder as original photo, but now I'm going to create a web folder, and I'm going to call it web 1920 pixels, because 1920 pixels is the size that I want the long edge to be. I'm going to create a custom name with a sequence number afterwards. You want to do this because if you're creating images for a client and they don't have images 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and there's numbers missing in between it, they're going to ask you, oh, where's that picture? I'd like to see that one. So always rename the files. Scroll down and I'm set the image format to JPEG at 100%. Go down a little bit further and we want to go to image sizing. Click the checkbox to resize to fit the long edge. Type in 1920 pixels and change the resolution from 240 to 72. We don't need it any bigger than that for web use. As I'm resizing it, I'm going to click on the sharpen for and then select screen, because it's not going onto paper, and then the amount just leave on standard so it applies a small amount of sharpening. If you wanted to add copyright information like a watermark, then you can add that as part of the process in here as well, but I'm not going to do that because I don't need to do that. And then over the left hand side here, you'll see that button to add a new preset. Click add, and we're going to title this one 1920 pixels web ready, and then click create. So now that's all ready to go next time we want to do it, and then I'll click export. So what we should see as we go over to the folder is that it should create whatever it is. Should be included now. Photos. That's why it's put it into where the raw files are. You can see there it's created a new directory, a new folder saying web 1920 pixels, and inside there we've got our 3 pictures. Cool. So now we want to do the same again, but we want to get it ready for print. So this time we're going to put it in a subfolder called print ready TIFF. Still want to rename it the same, so Grenadier start number 1. Image format, this time we are going to change to TIFF. Now I don't want it compressed. You can choose what color space you want it in. I'm going to leave it in the sRGB color space. You could change it to Adobe or Pro Photo depending on what your printer uses. Bit depth. Now this is why I want to save it as a TIFF as well, because it allows us to do 16 bits with a TIFF, which will give us a lot more color variation when it comes to print. Scroll down. We do not want to resize this to fit the long edge. We want to change the resolution back to 240. We don't want to sharpen for screen because all of this has been applied inside Lightroom already. And let's add a new preset, and we'll call this print ready TIFF. Hit on create. See it's ready there again. Hit export. And now it will export that for us, and it should create a new folder called print ready TIFF down here. Yeah, there it has, and doesn't always export it in the order that you select them in. It's done number 1, number 3, and then number 2, but it's there ready to go. And then we want to repeat the same process for JPEGs. Not every printer can read TIFFs and doesn't have the ability to print 16-bit, so we want the option to be able to offer our clients the JPEGs as well. I'm going to rename the same custom text Grenadier, start number 1. Image format, this time I'm going to change to JPEG, put the quality up to 100%, and everything else should still be the same. Resolution set to 240, no sharpening, and all of the metadata's in there. Now I'll create a new preset by pressing add. We'll call this print ready JPEG. Hit create and then hit export, and that should now create us another folder there. See, print ready JPEG, and then those images will start coming into the folder, which is great. So now that we've got those presets set up, it means that we can find another set of images. If we go into King of France, and we can filter some of our flagged images, and we'll just select a few that we might want to export. So we have a look at the ones that we've selected. Okay, so I've got some JPEGs that I've selected here, so I want to make sure that I've only got RAWs selected. So let's just find some of the crazy Germans instead. This will be easier to do. So I want to do that one, and that one of theirs. They should all be raw. Cool, they look good. And now we're going to go to export, and then all you need to do now is click on the 3 presets that you've already set up and click batch export. We want to change this though, because we don't want to call it that anymore, so we'll call it Crazy Germans. And hit export, and there we go, it's exporting all 3 of those. So if we have a look where this is, King of France and Crazy Germans 2024, King of France, raw, Crazy Germans, and there we go. You can see we've got the 3 folders there set up for us. The print ready JPEGs, still creating the 3rd one already. Print ready TIFFs, just creating the last one there, and web ready 1920 pixels. So that's all good to go. So that is how you export from Lightroom and how you set up presets to make your life easier. If you found this tutorial helpful, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. Thanks guys, see you later.